Can you wear your hair long after an FUE hair transplant? Well, I got this question from Steve Heckman. He said, in your experience, how is growing long hair after FUE? I wear my hair long past my shoulders. I want to get an FUE procedure, but I'm worried that the back of my head would look thinner. Well, Steve, my hair wasn't that long. At the longest that I wore it, it definitely wasn't past my shoulder. I usually keep it about like that on the sides. So I do have a pretty large FUT scar, but I'm not really that conscious about it. At the end of the day, I've got hair on the top of my head, so I don't think anybody cares or really looks at, this one little place in the back of my head that's a little bit thinner. I do think that there's a lot to be said about long hair after FUE, and more so, why would you actually get an FUE procedure if you want to keep your hair long?
The first comment I'll make on that is after one procedure, you shouldn't see any difference in regards to any less hair in the back. It's not going to make that much of a difference. I mean, if it's a 3,500 graft case, maybe, but I doubt it. The main motivator for getting FUE is so you don't have a linear scar. As an example, and I'm not putting you in the female category, but you have long hair. And we do not do, at least from an industry standard, we do not do FUE on female patients. Why? Well, because they don't shave their heads and they don't have to worry about a linear scar. So you're kind of in that category, which by the way is a compliment. When you remove a little strip, right, how scientifically you close the wound, you have less surface area now that you had, but your skin has memory and you really won't know it's missing. That is one of the other kind of benefits of getting a hair transplant. Yes, you have, 3,000 grafts, 7,000 hairs, whatever the number is, less in the back of your head, but it's not taken diffusely through everywhere. So you're asking the right question. The question is, I think, is it going to look moth-eaten? Is it going to look like I have less hair back there? Well, if you continue to do FUE, which potentially you may have to, whether or not you take medication, because we just don't know where that's going to go. Yes, it will look moth-eaten if it's done wrong, but you won't have enough opportunity to move a lot of hair with FUE or as much as if you do FUT.
Yeah, one of my close friends, Rob, recently got a FUT procedure done by Dr. McGrath. And it was interesting because before Rob and I spoke, he had pretty much decided that he was going to do an FUE procedure because he had always kind of heard from everyone that the scar was the old way of doing a hair transplant and that, it didn't make sense to do that anymore. And he was like kind of scared about the whole scarring thing. But Rob likes to wear his hair long. He's always worn his hair long, like in a ponytail or really long. And that's the way that he wants to wear his hair going forward. So actually, after he talked to Dr. McGrath and talked to Steve, he realized that it actually made way more sense for him to get an FUT procedure. He's since had an FUT procedure. He's only talked to me and said what a great idea that it was and how well it's turned out and how painless it's been and all of those kinds of things and how easy the procedure was. So it's only been like really good stuff from Rob. I think that he's really made the right decision. And now if he really needs to get more hair transplants in the future, he still has maybe a couple more FUT procedures. He could even get FUE, but he might not need any of that. And then he's not going to worry about any diffuse thinning in the back. He's still got the same beautiful long hair. It's just that he's got really nice thick hair and all from the center core. So the best quality donor hair right up front. So it's giving him that really nice hairline in one procedure.